Hey gang, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com with another 5 minutes to a better mix video tutorial where we're looking at 31 mixing tips in 31 days. And today I want to talk to you about another way to start your mix. Yesterday we looked at starting at the most important section of your song where the most is happening and mixing that first. Another strategic starting point is going one step further and starting with the most important instrument in your mix to start mixing first, okay? Now, this is going to vary from song to song, genre to genre, and as a mixer, you get to decide when you listen to a track, you throw up the faders, and in this case, let's say I'm looking at all these tracks, I'm listening to it maybe for the first time, maybe for the 100th time. You have to decide what instrument should carry this song. Is this a very vocal heavy song? Is it just tons of vocals that really the vocal is the most dominant instrument in the mix? Or like a lot of music, even if the vocals are maybe the most important because they carry the lyrics and they carry the meaning of the song, sonically and mixing wise, they're not going to be the hardest to mix. They'll be easy because maybe it's just a lead vocal and a double or a harmony, but you have some complex guitars, thick guitar work, tons of layers of guitars to deal with. That might be the most important instrument to mix first because that is the sonic imprint of the song. Maybe it's a piano driven song, could be a ballad. Even if there's a full band production, the piano might just be where the hook is, where the feel of the song is, and so you should start with the piano. The idea is identify that one element, that one instrument that you think is most important, and there's no right or wrong. I mean, you might change your mind, but find what you think it is, and that's what you should start mixing first, okay? Get it to sound good, get a conservative level sent to your mix bus, and then start bringing in every other instrument one at a time and measuring it to your initial instrument. You don't want the next instrument to dominate your first one. So if my song was piano heavy and I started to get the piano mix to sound good by itself, and then I'm bringing in the drums, I don't want the drums to start masking the piano. If with the drums in the mix, I lose some of the attack of the piano, I should fix something in the drums because the piano is my standard, okay? And then when I bring in the guitars, make sure they don't cover up the drums and the piano. Do you see how this would work? So in this particular mix is very percussive, very rhythm oriented. Just listen to the drum beat. All right, it's got that constant sort of country beat. It's just like it's a steady marching rhythm, and he doesn't really go to much of a straight ahead beat, but that's kind of the sense or the feel or the urgency of the song. So honestly, I might as well start mixing the drums first because sonically they carry a lot of the weight and they're complex, and I might as well get that to sound good since it's such a dominant instrument in this mix. So if this were me, I would start fiddling with the volume faders, the EQ, the compression. I would get this drum mix sounding great and make sure that it's sending a conservative level to my master, right? It's right around -10. I would make that the backbone of my mix and then slowly bring in the bass and the acoustic guitars and the electrics, the organ, the vocals, but mix them to fit with the drums. The drums will be my starting point. They will be my anchor, whatever you want to call it. Find the most important instrument in the song and mix that first. Another benefit for a lot of home studio users, if you mix the most important instrument first, you'll likely use your favorite plugins on that instrument. And sometimes our favorite plugins are a little bit CPU heavy and they drain some of our resources. So at the very least, you get to use your best plugins on the most important instrument. So by the time you get down to your tambourine track, who cares if you're running out of resources to use that vintage EQ or that really CPU intensive reverb plugin you have? Like, if you're running out of resources, it's just the tambourine track. Worst case scenario, you don't process it at all. You just bury it in the mix till you kind of hear it and move on. Either way, start with the most important instrument in the mix, and this really may vary from song to song, even with the same artist, okay? That'll help you get your mix building nicely, and you won't be fighting yourself as the mix progresses, okay? Try it out on your next mix. Thanks for tuning in. This is Graham at therecordingrevolution.com, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow with another 5 minutes to a better mix video. Take care.